Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today we're covering the Venato Prime. This thing came out with Caliban Prime access, and it actually is somewhat unique. Sadly, that uniqueness did not really carry it to becoming a very popular or expensive weapon, so we'll be talking about that today. Before we get into this stuff, though, make sure to sub this channel. Daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. Your employees for Warframe content. We'll be covering the new dev stream on the 25th extensively. We also got Plague Star guides en masse on this channel, so go ahead and check them out. Alright, so we got the Venato Prime here, the signature Scythe of Caliban. This Venato Normal is the signature Scythe of Caliban Normal. We have the signature Scythe of Caliban Prime here. As far as what it does, whenever you cause a status proc with this Scythe, it will cause a Tau proc on the enemy. And what does a Tau proc do? Well, you can basically view it as additive status chance against that enemy for each Tau proc on them. So think of it like kind of like Status Arcane Avenger a little bit. If an enemy has one Tau proc on them, you get plus 10% additive status chance. So if I had 0% status chance on my weapon, and I somehow had a Tau proc on them, it would make the weapon have 10% status procs. And if I had 10 Tau procs on it, it would be 100% increased status proc. So if I had 100% at base, and I got 10 Tau procs, it'd be 200 without Weeping Wounds, stuff like that. So because of this, we can stack up easy procs at enemies. There are some anti-synergies with it, with things like melee influence, but we'll talk about some good synergies with it as well. So let's hop right into the builds, as it's just pretty much a good stat site with an interesting little passive. Alright, so here we are in the sim. Now, as far as some of the buffs I've got today, I'm going to be honest with you, if you want to use the Venato Prime, you need to buff it up. So I've got Valkyrie with her Warcry ability to give increased attack speed for melees, and I got some purple Tau Shards for more critical damage. The Venato Prime itself is right here. It's a mostly puncture-focused Scythe. And it has like decent hybrid stats. As far as the first build I'm going to show you melee influence. Now, melee influence is okay on this thing, but it's not as synergistic as you would like, because the Tau proc is actually not considered an elemental proc, so melee influence does not spread Tau procs, okay? You'll spread electric procs, and on this build, that's pretty much all you're going to spread. So, yeah, you want the Tau proc enemy in front of you, and then enemies around them will just take electric proc. So our build here is pretty standard. This thing is very slow attack speed-wise, so either put on Quickening or Prime Fury, whatever one you have. I'll probably go for Prime Fury here. We've also got some status chance on. We got Weeping Wounds for big status chance. We also got crit chance from Galvanized Steel and Blood Rush. Also Galvanized Elementalist for more status chance as well. This thing does definitely need status chance pretty heavily to get its passive going, where you'll get more procs. Oh, additionally, it gets an additional combo chance with Caliban himself. So, yeah, 50% increased combo chance. It does stack with Quickening. So if you are using this with Caliban Prime himself, use Quickening on the build. All right, so we got some Exo Gok stats here. I'm not gonna like buff myself at all. I'm just gonna show it without any buffs. Okay, so there's melee influence for you. As you can see, there was a Tau proc on her, but everything else, like, you know, the Panzer Profile did help us a lot there with the viral proc. So extremely generic on the whole like melee influence front. You're not really getting any value out of this versus like, you know, the Harmony or like the Hate Incarnon. It's just really, really generic. Let's go ahead and show it with some buffs now. And the thing about this is, it's just to let you proc your electric melee influence a lot easier when you hit that first enemy. So there you go, easy procs. As you can see, it's really generic. I'm not going to really recommend that you use this thing if you're just going to use it for melee influence. Let's use some more unique, fun builds on this, like a Melee Afflictions build. So Melee Afflictions, I think, is pretty good on this thing. And as far as why it's good on this thing, it actually works with a Tau proc. So whenever you get a status proc on an enemy, you'll get a Tau proc. And whenever you get an enemy launched in the air with Melee Afflictions, they get 6 extra procs of whatever they had on them. So with Blast and Tau, you can blow enemies up really easily with a build like this. So let's go ahead and throw that on. And now this one is definitely going to be, you know, it's a little bit more particular. It has a little more synergy with the build itself, but at the same time, it might not be the thing you really want. So there we go. 14 million damage. 18 million damage. So basically, you hit them once, they get Tau, and then they get launched, and they shoot a bunch of blast procs and Tau procs after that. It kind of like feeds into itself. So Tau proc into blast proc, you know, a bunch of Tau procs, and they get launched. That's added a status chance. That's even more blast proc. So that's pretty good. We can go ahead and show it now with enemies getting grouped up. Maybe even throw on Roar. See, as you can see, pretty good. I mean, that was pretty decent actually. Pretty good. But the problem is, it's just a generic Scythe to me, beyond the Tau passive. So that's 2 builds. Let's show a third build. I actually think this one's probably the best one, the Afflictions build. And as far as your Tennokai mod, Dreamer's Wrath is fine. What's the other one that's ever... Yeah, Disciple's Merit is probably the best one. This is the one I like the most. Every 4 hits, a Tennokai is guaranteed. But yeah, we got Melee Vortex in last build here. And we got Magnetic Rush to make the build a magnetic build. So what Magnetic Vortex, or Melee Vortex does, killed enemy affected by a magnetic proc for a 45% chance to pull in enemies in an 18-meter radius. You could proc magnetic from your Sentinel or something like that. We got a magnetic mod on here to make it where the enemies are going to be pulled in. You know, you could probably throw a Condition Overload too, because there's going to be a lot of procs on this build, and there will not be much AoE. So let's go ahead and throw a Condition Overload on. So the idea of this one, we're not going to use Valkyr's one, but when we kill enemy affected by a mag proc, it should pull enemies in the area. But it's just killing the initial kill might be a little bit harder. Okay, come on. There we go. It worked on something. So there you go. Now, if you had more room for like a gas build or something like that, you could do gas magnetic. Or again, like I said, if you have your Sentinel proc magnetic, you can kill enemy proc by magnetic, and then that will also work too. So yeah, since you have all this additive status chance with this weapon, you can easily get your magnetic procs to pull enemies in, which I think is pretty good. So pretty good on that front. But again, if you're playing Valkyrie, you probably don't really need this. So as you can also see, with Blood Rush and Galvanized Steel, we have red crits on this thing, so it can do some pretty good damage, honestly, guys. So at the end of the day, this Venato Prime, I think DE tried pretty hard to make this thing actually interesting, not just your generic run-of-the-mill melee where it's like, yeah, it has higher stats. This thing has higher stats and its special unique trait that feels pretty good when you do actually mod around it. If you just throw the generic melee influence build, sure, the weapon's fine, but you're not really, at that point, just use a different weapon, honestly. Like, use like the dual Ichor or something. I would say a build more like this is more what I like on this thing. And of course, it is flexible too. If you don't want to just go for Blast, I like Blast on this thing. You can even go for a gas damage build. It'll serve the exact same purpose. Hit them with Venato, and then basically it just becomes multiplied procs, multiplied gas procs, multiplied Tau procs, etc., etc. So that's basically it for the video, guys. Hope you find it fun and helpful. I'll be live on stream tonight with some Omniformal Bundle giveaways and doing some Plague Star farming, so come on, stop by if you want to. And again, if you are not running a melee buffer frame or like a big attack speed buff, I would not even recommend melee in this game in the first place. But yeah, there's some gas damage there. As you can see, it's still really good. So yeah, Afflictions for the win on this thing. I'd say with Blast. You can even throw on Heat or something like that if you prefer that. But yeah, guys. Really nice new one, but it probably will get forgotten pretty quickly once we start moving to some actual new Incarnon. But I hope we do get some new Incarnon soon, as we are kind of lacking like a Tigris Incarnon, like a Dakra Incarnon, Baza Incarnon, you know, the list goes on. Hopefully D can hook it up, but if we do, hopefully there's no more Scythes, because we have like 3 Incarnon Scythes at this point, and it's a little bit excessive. So that's basically it. See you guys next time. Appreciate support. Take it easy. Peace.